This review has been approved by Lord Carnage.
Banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the Intergalactic Space Arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything.
Back in the 1980s, when G.I. Joe and Transformers were popular, the first time around, Marvel Comics published a 4-issue miniseries called G.I. Joe and the Transformers, which is excellent. I still have them, planning to review them someday soon. Fast forward to 2014, and we get Transformers vs. G.I. Joe, published by IDW, by Tom Scioli and John Barber, if I pronounced those correctly. This is hilarious. It's an extremely funny, clever, and well-written comic book, with an interesting art style. And hopefully you can see this on the internet, but the pages are intentionally faded and made to look like the old-school mid-80s comics, even though they're all printed on high-quality glossy paper. So, if you grew up with G.I. Joe like I did and you remember all the toys, they're all here. They're like just shoved into the pages with incredible detail, and they're all dropping one-liners and making fun of the acronyms and hitting on Scarlet. It's hilarious. And this is the first issue. It only gets better from here because they end up going to Cybertron, and it's amazing. Before we read this one, though, this is number 1. Issue number 0 is actually, at least as of this recording, free for digital download on Amazon.com, and I recommend that one. It's also really good. What really makes Transformers vs. G.I. Joe worth reading is the humor and the appreciation for old-school Transformers and G.I. Joe. This has nothing to do with the crappy movies. This was clearly made by people who played with the toys and get it. And I don't know about you, but I always battled Transformers vs. G.I. Joe. Although Transformers won every time. Probably because I had to build the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier myself out of plywood and shoeboxes. Nobody would buy me one. Transformers vs. G.I. Joe number 1, highly, highly recommended. There's a few covers to choose from. Thanks to Tom for signing mine, and I'll see you next time on CGR Comics from Classic Game Room.